The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
I don't think we're streaming yet.
We're streaming. See, we're streaming.
They're just popping online.
Yeah, it takes a second.
Yeah, well, you prematurely opened.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
There.
Much better.
There we go. What are we? Is it doing? Is it working?
I think so.
Okay.
I think we're good to go.
Shut up.
Yeah.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to the show that we're doing the liquid lunch thing.
Just a little late.
No, it's fine. Listen, live streams. This is not old school TV, Dave. This is the new streaming, new whatever thing. We can't.
I don't get it.
We can't be hemmed in by schedules and expectations and norms. We're loose cannons. We call our own shots. We're loose cannons on a pirate ship sailing for beer glory and booty. Beer booty.
Beer booty.
Happy International Stout Day.
Yeah, I got one.
Me too. Well, you know what?
Huh.
We are hemmed in by protocol of our own making because it's just better that way. My name's Josh, by the way. Kennedy's over there. I don't know if you can see. Can you see him yet? And you see Dave. There's Dave. Mm-hmm. There's Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And on the table, hopefully you can see from that shot all kinds of stouts. One was moved out of the shot. Did you just not like Irish stouts? You moved it.
What? I didn't move that.
I didn't move that.
I'm pretty sure you moved it.
When you brought in the extra stout glasses, I think you started reaching.
Let me give you a situation here. Mm-hmm. You're taking the Instagram picture before the show. Mm-hmm. You're not really sure what the information on that bottle is. So you pick up that bottle and move it closer to you to read the information on, and then you neglect to put it back. Mm-hmm. Is that something that maybe happened?
No, because I have the picture where I tagged that brewery, so it was in the Instagram
Yes, you
shot.
took the picture first, and then as you were making up the tags, you looked at the bottle and then left it and didn't put it back. Sorry, you have to listen to this, Dave.
No, I
That's okay. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on here.
I disagree. I disagree that's the reality of the situation, even though now I have to admit that, but I disagree.
There you go. Wait, hold on.
Have you ever had an O'Hara's Irish Stout?
Perfect placement. There you go.
I don't remember. I've had so many beers, I can't remember which ones I've had now.
Yeah, you remember back in the day, about the time you were opening Southern Star, back in 2006?
7, yes. 7.
Okay.
6, close enough.
Yeah. You remember back then when there was like 7 beers out there to try, in the U.S. that you could get in Houston, and then it was like international stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And all the have you tried all these Belgian beers, or have you tried this from England or whatever? And that was it. That was kind of like, that was it. And you tried them all. And now there's so much good local stuff. Like to try things from out of the country. Who does that?
Hey, Dave, could you do me a big favor, Dave?
Yeah.
Tilt your camera up a little bit. We're giving you now split the difference. Perfect. All right.
We should have people for this.
I know.
Should. Yeah. I mean, and the lighting's terrible.
Oh. Well,
so it's on my side, I guess.
It's artistic lighting.
Yeah, it's kind of.
And I still can't see Kennedy. I'm not real sure what I'm doing here.
Oh, if you can see, are you seeing our 2-shot? What are you seeing?
I'm just seeing you.
My face, my big face. You like my hat? You like? I
do. I was gonna say nice hat.
Yeah.
Waiting for the opportune time.
Yes. Last night, Kenny was a little perturbed with me. He's like, can you get guests earlier? And I'm like, typically that's a reasonable request, but yesterday I came across the fact that today is International Stout Day, and I'm like, I didn't know that was going to be a thing. I know it happens every year. We even have done this show before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the same day last year,
but I don't have it on my calendar.
And the year before that.
I know, but it's like this year of all years, a little grace, Kennedy, of not remembering. Are we still doing Christmas this year? That's kind of up in the air. We don't know. So International Stout Day, I'll admit, fell through the cracks there for a second, but Dave, you're so great and gracious to join us last moment. Not even the last moment, but just we scheduled this last night. So, stouts.
Your exact words was tomorrow when I said.
That's true.
You're like, oh yeah, that's tomorrow.
Yeah. I was like, can you be on the show this week? I'm like, yeah, you mean tomorrow, right? And I'm like, oops. Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. Thanks for realizing that the calendar goes Wednesday, then Thursday, because that's how that happens. All right. Kennedy, are we ready to get into some beer? Can we get into some beer?
I'm not stopping you.
Okay. Well, I'm saying, are you ready to do the frilly thing that we do? Looks like you're about to send an email.
No.
Yeah, okay. So I'll wait on that one.
Okay.
We'll do that later. Dave, what do you have? I saw what you showed us, but show us again. Flash that up there.
Well, I've got the stout, the stout that we started with and that we maintain with. Although we've got a few more stouts these days, this is the one. So it's Berry Hatchet Stout.
That is on my Mount Rushmore of beers. That stout is the best stout.
That's the stout. And is the rule, do I have to drink this? I mean, I guess I don't have to do anything on International Stout Day, but I was going to start with something a little bit lighter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was going to start with a Little Cow, which is not a stout.
Oh, look. Oh, man. That sounds good, too. So that's...
I'm going to suck one of those down because it is lunch. I mean, we're a little bit late for lunch. So.
Little bit.
Yeah. I didn't know what rules you had here, but if you got some, I'm breaking them.
No, it's cool. That one, yes, we have a rule, then break a rule. That's the rule. And then 2, guests can do pretty much whatever they want because they're guests. So that's called Southern hospitality. And so there you go. Well, on International Stout Day, tell us all about Little Cow.
Which you like Mustanga?
Hey, I just got a whole shipment of those.
Yeah?
Like authentic.
They're nice beer glasses.
Yeah, Cologne, Germany, Stang.
Karoba Milkshake IPA Stanga, or Stang, or however the hell you say it.
So you're drinking a light, low ABV, hoppy ale, right?
Yeah, IPA. It is one of those newfangled low carb IPAs that's just bombed with hops at the end. We're really, really happy with it. It's got 100 calories, and that left us 26 calories to pack it full of flavor.
Awesome.
So we had to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
And we did.
Okay, so I really appreciate those beers. They're great lunch beers, and since we do a lunch show, I do tend to want to gravitate towards that because when you go full, hard in the paint, imperial stout, that type of thing, 7.5, 8 and above for lunch. The rest of the day is hit.
I'm going to go there too. So I've dedicated some time for a nap after this.
Okay, good.
I just off all that work that I said I had to do yesterday on Omar, and so now I get to drink beer with you.
Thanks, Omar. I hope he's driving and listening and watching. Hopefully just watching, but not.
Yeah, I hope he's not driving and watching.
Oh, it's fine. It's a company vehicle. It's fine. It's insured.
Yeah, who pays the preview insurance on this?
What? Let's see, Kennedy. What are we going to start with?
I think you were saying something about being thirsty.
I did.
I'm not sure, but I think somewhere along the way here you said something.
Oh
about
yeah. Well,
you were thirsty.
Yeah, we know
something?
what Dave's drinking. Hey, Kennedy.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine here on Liquid Lunch. This is
What you drinking?
What are we drinking today? All the stouts.
Well, we have
all the stouts.
Stouts.
Yeah, we've got. Okay, Dave. Here's our lineup. You ready for this?
Yep.
We've got a Samuel Smith's Imperial Stout.
Oh, that's a goodie.
We got an O'Hara's Irish Stout from O'Hara's in Ireland, like authentic Irish Stout.
That.
It's like 4.3, something like that.
Okay. Lunch beer?
Yeah, we got a Buried Hatchet, our couple.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
We've got what's the one from Epic in Colorado?
Oh yeah, I was just in Colorado a couple weeks ago, and I brought this son of a Baptist.
Which would be me. I'm a son of a Baptist. It's a coffee stout.
Coffee stout. With
and I went half the coffee this morning.
Epic Brewing.
Okay, Epic Brewing
Pretty
in
good.
Denver, right?
Yeah.
We have a Convict Hill Oatmeal stout.
I can't
from
reach that.
Independent.
That's really good beer too.
Yeah, one of the.
Hold
That's
on. I'm getting there.
what came first. Was it Convict Hill or Buried Hatchet?
I think Convict Hill.
I think is Convict Hill. I was having this discussion with Kennedy last night, and I was like, I think Convict Hill is the original Texas stout.
I think you're right. I mean, full time. St. Arnold had a stout.
Kennedy, can you just pour me half of one? I'm. It's the big Buried Hatchet.
You can't see what I'm doing right now, Dave, but I'm holding up the big can of Buried Hatchet stout.
With that
Why can't I see you? That's so strange.
I don't know. It should be. Let me check what's going on, Sky.
Well, and this was wanting me to reload, and it wouldn't download the description. And suddenly you called me, so maybe I'm blaming it on that.
Please don't reload anything right now.
No, I'm not doing anything right now. I was in the middle of trying to do things, and then you called. I was actually in the cold box, and I said, "Shit, I gotta go." We were tapping into the barrels of some barrel-aged Oktoberfest, our Russian Imperial Stout. So I will tell you guys some news. I've got stout news. Not only did I bring stout to the table, I brought some stout news to the table too.
Well, we want to hear stout news.
Stout news.
Here we go, stout news. So by Black Friday, we will be selling this taproom exclusive beer. It's going to be a 2-pack of barrel aged Oktoberfest, our Russian Imperial Stout, which started at 10.5% alcohol, and then it sat in barrels for a while and gained a bit. It will include 1 can of that beer aged in Weller's barrels, and then it will include 1 can aged in old rum barrels. So they age some rum in. So the 2 beers collectively will be labeled and known as the Drunken Comrades.
Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like a podcast.
Yeah.
We should.
Well,
this is speaking of podcast. One, Dave, we've got some podcast news. The Liquid Lunch podcast now available on Amazon Prime Music.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you have the Prime Music app on anything, even on your device with that girl with the name that I don't want to say because it may pop. There's 20 of those things around this house.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
I should just start doing that with every conversation.
Just see what people have going on.
Yeah.
I think that one's taken over. The Apple one, which I also have device, that may pop up if I say it. That one not as popular, and then the Google people just. I think the fact that they say "Hey Google," people are thinking. Yeah, at least with the others, they gave it a name that I don't have to worry. Like Google, I know they're watching. But that's just, it's a little creepy. Speaking of...
Oh, they're definitely watching.
Yeah, they're watching, listening, recording. Speaking of, drunken comrades.
Sorry to interrupt you, too. I got a very important question for you, Josh.
What?
What are we drinking?
Well, I already asked that question. You told me.
All right, I'll pick something.
Oh. Go. We're going to get Dave to... I think we should go Convict Hill. What is Convict Hill's ABV?
That's what I had in my hand.
What is that?
A bajillion.
No, it's like 5.5, I think.
Yeah, it's a oatmeal stout. It's pretty light. I drove by Convict Hill not too long ago.
Oh yeah, it's light. It's super light.
What is it?
It's super light.
I can't see. What is it?
I know you can't see it. It's going to be a surprise. But
it's 8%.
Everyone can see.
Let's start lower. I don't know why we're just doing half of one, so it's like 4%. All right, pour it. Pour me.
Like the way you think.
I mean, we're splitting 8 beers. That's a 4% beer. That's
solid math.
Yeah, it's a session. That's a sessionable half a beer. Yeah, I just drove by Convict Hill, which is an actual place in the Austin area. When I was driving from my house, the studio, out to Fredericksburg. You pass Convict Hill.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know why. It's like, you remember back when there was bottles, and then when they had bottles, and then they would put stories on the 6-pack holder and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember those days.
Yeah, they had that story on that 6-pack holder, but it's been a while, and so now I don't remember. I think there were some convicts involved and a hill.
I took some of the ABV out for you, Josh.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. It sounds sessionable because it's
split. So that's really 8. I thought it was lower than that, but that's Cheers.
According to
No
the
wonder I felt like I felt when I drank a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I do feel light. This is lighter than I feel. I feel
My head
very.
feels lighter than my body.
Also want to say, hoity-toity, pinkies in the air, Spiegelau stout glasses, and you got something hanging from yours. Weird, like a booger. That was weird. What was that?
I don't know. It's a
Piece of headphone.
something.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's some random thing that's here in the studio.
Weird. I just looked over there and this thing dangling, a stalactite hanging off the bottom of your glass. But I digress. Anyway, Spiegelau stout glasses. There you go. So Spiegelau, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of Speedloud too.
Yeah.
Foamy Head 13 also enjoying a stout today.
Oh yes. Oh hey everybody. Hey Jeremy and Enrique. How are you?
Cherry,
Mercy Beers.
Cherry Vanilla Temptress Imperial Milk Stout. That's a long name.
From Lakewood.
Yeah.
That is what Foamy Head is drinking. Mercy Beers. We've got some English beers and Irish beers here for International Stout Day. Are you guys? Oh, happy Guy Fawkes Day night.
Guy Fawkes night.
Oh, for me, the end of the week. Okay, great. I don't know what they do on Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah. What happens on Guy Fawkes Day? And that's FAWKES.
Dave, you seem to know things.
Do you know?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I think it's where you just get a little crazy and you say, "I don't give a fox.
Yeah.
I'm a
I'm
guy."
a guy. He doesn't give a fox.
Yeah. I mean, here in the United States, I'd say no fox given.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Figured it out.
yep. Bonfire. Misty is doing currently a bonfire.
Oh.
For Guy Fawkes. You do bonfires for Guy Fawkes. So, okay. Fire pit night. That's
All right.
when it drops below 70. That's my whole backyard.
So
So,
you can't read this day, but Enrique right now enjoying a 2015 Black Crack.
That must be the Enrique I know. Not that whole lot of Enrique. Well, there are. Yeah. The man with the coolest name ever.
yeah, that the Black Crack. So, okay, let's talk about the origin of Buried Hatchet. Buried Hatchet, I remember, I'm going to go a little nostalgia for myself. I just remember that was not the first one you canned. You canned Pine Belt and then Bombshell, and then eventually Buried Hatchet came along.
No, we can. Well, you're right, but we can't. Except for your use of the word eventually. We canned Pine Belt, and then we eventually canned Bombshell Blonde, and then very quickly after Stout. We had we did a batch of Bombshell, and then if memory serves me right, immediately did Stout. We released them pretty much at the same time. We got the cans in pretty much at the same time.
Okay.
Which is strange, now that you think about, Pine Belt's gone.
Yeah.
But that 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, okay, I'll say this. All right, not that it took you a while from the brewery, but this is where if from 1,000 years or 2,000 years in the future, when people are like, they're trying to do, it's in a different language, English. Texan is a dead language now. Nobody uses the words whatever, or any of the words we use now, because it's a dead language. I guess that's how that goes. But they would say, oh, okay, well, he lived in the Cypress region of the Texas, when Texas was not underwater or whatever was going on in 2,000 years. And they didn't distribute the Buried Hatchet in cans over to that region until a little later.
And so yeah.
That is why he said that. Right.
Yeah.
They would say it was a forgery, even though it's an audio. I don't know. Anyway. But that was my case. I remember finding Pine Belt in the store, and it was in the taller. It was in the 16-ounce cans, right? And
yes.
I remember trying it, and then instantly being frightened. I can't handle this beer.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, it was like
Terrible business.
Yeah, that's one of my evidence. Number one, that lupulin threshold shift is a real thing, and that as you try hoppy beers, your palate, develops and accepts. I want to say now, even like my children probably have a higher, a hop bitterness threshold than I had then, just through osmosis and whatever orbit. Being in orbit.
It's like crazy. But remember the days when Pine Belt was better?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It was, but then I remember trying it later and thinking, what happened? They must have changed it, but you didn't change it. And I was like, I really, really enjoy it. But then, I remember looking at your website, seeing, when I saw finally, because it was only, in the Houston area, it was only St. Arnold. That was the only local beer that was out in grocery stores and things like that. And then you guys opened, and it was like, oh, this changes the game. And then there was that Pine Belt, but then I remember looking at the website, what else do they have? And on the website, before you canned it, it was just that mug of, I don't know if you remember that picture. I just remember looking at that picture and reading the description of Buried Hatchet and thinking, oh, I can't wait. That's going to be amazing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I just remember at work, just looking at that and just like reading the description over and over again, be like, I can't wait to try this beer. And then finally I did, and it's like, it lived up to every bit of expectation I had. I can't quit you, Buried Hatchet.
I can't either. I love that beer so much. And I don't drink it very often because it's huge. And I like to drink lots of beer, but you can't drink lots of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a pick your moment beer for sure. And
I'm going to have one today. I'm going to have one for lunch today.
Yeah, it's still in 4-packs, right? Or is it 6-packs? I remember when it first came, it was 4-packs. It's
still in 4-packs. To sell it in 6-packs would be irresponsible.
That's true. It's true, because like with a 4-pack, you're like, all right, I can have 2, and that's half, and that's a good even number.
Yeah, 3's too much.
3's too,
and then 4, you're not going. But I'm not going to challenge anybody to drink 4, but 4's way too much.
Yeah.
And for those irresponsible folks out there, if it came in 6, I mean, you might have to sign a waiver or something. It's about, and it's deceptive. It doesn't taste like it's as strong as it is.
Jose has the suggestion: put Buried Hatchet in 16-ounce cans.
Nope. Sorry.
The difference between the 16-ounce and the 12s, right? Because Pine Belt originally was in the 16s.
Yeah.
Do you have? You guys don't have anything coming out in 16s now, do you? Well, you've got the tall. You've got the.
We've got the 19.2s.
Yeah, the 19.2s.
Stove Girls.
Tall Girls. Okay. I like those too, but that's Bombshell, and what else do y'all put out in that? Y'all put the.
That's it.
It's a good looking pour, by the way.
Yeah, that's a great pour. Or you can put that Lil Cow. Lil Cow in the 6 or the 19.2s. You could put that one that you're drinking there, right?
19.2s are such a pain.
Okay.
You have to convert the line over. Then it's very hard to you get some losses because they're top heavy. Because the push that pushes it into the seamer is pushing what would be the middle of the can on a 12-ounce can, but then you get 19.2s, so they fall over a lot. You have to buy the printed cans. You have to buy them from Mexico, and you can only order them like once or twice a year. Mm-hmm. And then what I've just the boring business aspect of it, you have to sell. You have to sell 12 units to get through a 12 case, whereas like if you get a case, those come in 12 cases of 12 cans. So if you're selling a case of 4 6-packs, you'll have to sell 4 units before, the case disappears. Mm-hmm. With these, you have to sell 12 units before, the case disappears. So, you don't think about all those things. It's like 16-ounce cans. I didn't think about it at all when I put it out. I looked at 16-ounce cans, and I'm like, man, I want to make a punch you in the face hoppy beer and put it in tall boys, which back then, 16-ounce cans. And that was cool and all until I realized that there's not enough room on the grocery store shelf to stack them on top of each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons cans have taken off so much. I mean, it's a good packaging, but you can fit twice the inventory on the grocery store shelf.
Yeah.
So you don't have to touch it as much. I'll tell you, that's my job, like popping the bubbles of mystique of the beer world. It's just like, this is boring. This is also boring.
But it makes a lot of sense until they make square bottles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure somebody will. Yeah.
Well, there was those square what was it? Carl's? Is it? What's the green one? The Carlsberg. What is that? The something. The
Carlsberg.
Is it Carlsberg? Just the lager, right?
I think so.
They're in the green bottles.
Yeah.
They're one of the ones. I think they put them in square bottles, and people were building like houses out of them or something.
What's the repurpose of them?
Yeah.
I think Josh is playing a joke on me right now.
Or did you open that one?
I haven't opened it yet.
Okay. Well, no, okay. So here's my.
So you can't see this, but
You want me to show it?
Wait,
to me?
Point.
angle it. I can see them on the reflection of your glasses. I'm just okay.
Point
He's going-
0.03% alcohol.
Technically
Wait, zero.
non-alcoholic. It was in the non-alcoholic section.
A
It total.
What is-
non-alcoholic
Here,
stout.
Let me see it. Let me show him. Okay,
yeah.
so I've been on this. There it is. I'll show you. Can you see it?
Okay, yeah.
Partake. They're out of Canada, which should tell you a lot. Probably just tastes like it's probably just like maple syrup.
No, I
But
bet it tastes good.
maybe.
Well, the reason how they're doing it now is a lot different. They're making beers and then just extracting the alcohol out of them, which to me is like, okay, that's cool, but now you've got a 500 or 400 calorie can of nothing. You've got cake, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the non-alcoholic side of things because I mean you got things like Sober October, which I've heard people do. I didn't, but
We did Sober August, and that was not pleasant. I didn't like it.
yeah, I don't know. I feel it's kind of my duty as somebody that does beer things. Should at least be able to point somebody in the right direction if they're like, I can't do alcohol. And I'm like, well, here's some things that taste better than
Hop water.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hop water's not bad if it's done right. I
Not too bad.
like actual like sparkling hop water. That was a thing for 10 minutes, right? I remember that.
I remember that.
You're kind of freezing up. My connection might be bad.
You look good here.
Yeah, you're fine to us.
Yeah, just keep.
Now I can't.
Oh, if you can't hear us, we're gonna have to.
Ah.
You look good here. I don't know if you can hear us. I'll text him on this.
Well, you're frozen. I can just hear you a little bit.
Oh, you can hear us a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Let me know when I'm actually frozen.
No.
I'll start singing the songs from the movie.
Yeah. Well,
If he can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Now you're pixelated.
All right.
So,
If you need to,
I mean, as long as you can hear us, we're good because
now I can hear you. It seems to have, and you're moving, so it seems to have cleared up. We just had a super glitch.
yeah, it happens. It's 2020. The whole year's been a glitch.
yeah.
I mean, look at what's going on. The clearly, announced winner of the presidential election. We could discuss that, or
No.
Yep.
we could discuss how pleasant the whole process went and all that. Man, what a crazy! Of course, it's going this way this year. Of course, all that. You know?
I'm just expecting to get hit by an asteroid like on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, you almost made it, and then
you almost made it.
look, it's the light at the end of that's not the light at the end of the tunnel. That's a flaming
not the
rock
light.
from
The
outer
sun
space.
just exploded.
Okay, so if the sun does explode, though, what do we have? 15 minutes until we see it? Or feel it?
7 minutes.
7 minutes?
I think so.
Okay.
7? Yeah, perfect.
Oh, Mercy Beer says Brewdog's Wake Up Call AF was a nice 0.5 coffee stout. So I've tried a few of those of the non-alcoholics. Athletic Brewing, I think they're out of California. They're kind of the ones that are pushing on all the like fitness websites and stuff. They're trying to I think JJ Watt had a refrigerator full of them. He showed on Instagram the other day. Are you going to share any of that?
Well, are you going to give me a glass to pour it in?
I'll pour it myself. Fine. It's like I host and pour. What are you going to do? So this is the O'Hara's Irish Stout. What is it, Dave, as the expert? The differences of stouts. Let's get back to International Stout Day. So we have Irish Stout, Oatmeal Stout, Coffee Stouts, Imperial Stouts. Did I already say that? I don't know. Dry Stouts. I guess that's Irish Stout.
Oyster stouts.
Yeah.
White stouts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Val at Valenson Brewing, he had one that blew my mind. It was a white coffee stout. It took you one way and then went back the other. And you're like, whoa. Anyway.
Cherry.
Oh yeah, what's the one from that?
Cherry, coconut, chocolate, peanut butter stouts.
Pastry stouts. Yeah, pastry stouts.
Yeah. So, all right. Difference between like a dry stout and just a standard English stout or whatever.
So, dry stouts to me are sort of synonymous with Irish stouts, although it seems like, the lines continue to get blurred. But the dry Irish stout, low alcohol, very attenuated down to where there's not a whole lot of residual sugars left. Tend to have some really heavy kind of almost burnt toast, a little roast. Some of them can have almost a twinge of something that you'll taste almost as sour or funky. Not in the way of, the best example is Guinness, but in a pleasant way. Guinness has a little bit of that kind of twang at the end of it, especially in the nitro, to where you don't have the carbon dioxide that's kind of scrubbing your palate. Whereas English stouts tend to be richer, more full-bodied, tad sweeter, more toffee than roast is pretty much. I like both of them a lot. When I was when I went to Ireland, we went to the Guinness brewery, which was incredible. Yeah. But then I found Beamish Irish Stout, which you can't get here. Naturally, that's the one that I like the most. So you always want what you can't have, I think.
Well, I would imagine, like, even going to the Guinness brewery, like what we get here versus what you drink there would be.
That was the best pint of Guinness I've ever had, in one of my top 3 pints of beer, period. Yeah. I mean, it was amazing. Now, part of it is just like, another one of my top 3 pints of beer was a Coors out of a can sitting around a campfire. So some of it is situational. Yeah. But that was, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible.
Yeah. That's one of my, that's on the list of places I want to go. Like, is the Guinness brewery. The story of Guinness is just amazing.
It's really cool.
Yeah, the fact that they had that, it was a 1,000-year lease.
Yeah, it's pretty much an eternal lease with the
Yeah, Arthur Guinness still. It's like $10 a month or something like that. Like, I don't know what
insane.
Yeah, and then all the work, the philanthropy, like that family did a lot of amazing things for Ireland and beyond.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah,
there's a picture in there that has like a picture from around 1910 or something, and it's a picture of the yard outside, and it's just stacked, this giant pyramid of barrels, of wooden barrels. They employed their own army of like coopers just to make all these barrels. It's just, you look at it, you're like, wow, not only the sheer volume of it, but the amount of work that it went into, them making all of those barrels. It was just, it's absurd.
Yeah. They also wrote a bunch of really cool books. Their book of records. World records.
Oh yeah,
the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, their Book of World Records.
Yeah. That's did the lady with the fingernails ever get usurped, or does she still hold the record? You know which one I'm talking about, and it was the one that was round.
I know what you're talking about. They're gnarly looking.
Yeah, that was always like for years and years. Like it was that, and then the Fat Twins on the mopeds.
Ball of twine.
Yeah, the ball of twine. All of those. Now I feel like they give out those records for some silly things, but like those records for being like really fat, being fat twins, both of you being fat, having long fingernails, those are things you really had to earn.
World's strongest mopeds.
Yes. world's sturdiest suspension. Just, I bet you that was back in the 80s. I bet you those guys aren't with us anymore.
Probably not.
Turns out you get that record, and then there's not a long career in holding the world's fattest anything for a long time.
World's record of beer drinking.
Yeah.
The Giant still.
Andre the Giant or Wade Boggs.
That Wade Boggs. Did anybody confirm the Wade Boggs? I feel like Andre.
Just like Andre, that one story, he said he had like 96 beers, and then he had like 2 bottles of wine with dinner.
Yeah.
I was like, good God.
Yeah. That, by the way, that documentary, the HBO documentary, worth the watch.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, Coopering, Mercy Beers saying that, he said that the Coopering is a dying trade, which is really sad because it's like, who doesn't love barrels, right? And they're needed.
But he's right. Completely dying trade. The only ones that use them now are wineries and distilleries, pretty much, and it's pretty sad because it's just you get somebody that knows what they're doing, and they can make those staves and bend them to where they just fit so close together you don't need anything in between them, which is it's just mind-boggling to me how somebody can do that.
Yeah, And it's really one of the, like, you go an apprentice for that. I don't know how much a cooper makes. Probably not enough.
Probably not a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Do they get paid in pennies? You know, copper.
Copper Cooper, yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
Coopering.
That was
It's
a-
paid in copper.
that was a stretch.
Eh.
But at the end of the day, they just put their pay right there on the barrel.
What?
Hopefully their boss didn't have them over one, though.
Yeah.
All right, that was worse than mine.
Well,
Yeah, no, I'm glad I didn't say it because it was.
All right.
but every once in a while there'd be a party, and because they'd make wine, they'd fill it with monkeys.
All right, I think we're done
Or
with the barrel.
crickets.
All right, I think we're done with this barrel talk.
Mercy Bear says that the yeah, we got a couple of wows for that. Mercy Bear says the Open Gate Tap Room at the Guinness Brewery in Dublin, their experimental stuff is amazing. So
Didn't get any of that.
maybe we should make I was gonna say road trip, but a row, because we're gonna have to get in a boat.
Yeah, a road trip.
A road trip.
A road trip, yeah. See, now we're yeah. Oh my
Now
God,
we're-
the puns.
now we're
they
back.
keep coming.
Yeah, well, it's International Stout Day. That's what.
I mean,
That's, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, when was
I don't-
the last time anybody took a boat over instead of the airplane?
I'm sure it happens every day.
Well, the Navy does it all the time.
Yeah,
Do you think we could hitch a ride?
maybe. Didn't Omar was in the Navy, right?
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe he can talk to some of his buddies.
Maybe he knows
Maybe so.
a guy.
Maybe he could talk to Davey, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. Learn that from a guy in a bar playing the piano.
Yeah, yeah. I think I heard him too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drink more.
yeah. And just like his microphone, mine smells like a beer. So,
Are they blinking off yet?
no, actually, oh yeah, I thought that was an infinity sign. It's not. It's an 8. It's a, yeah, it went down from a thing. So when do the Drunken Comrades? When are we going to see that out?
You're gonna see that out probably right. I mean, we're waiting on the boxes literally, and it will be that they should be here the week of Thanksgiving. So we're gonna have the beer already done. We are testing it right now for biological stability in our lab. Doing some taste tests on it. I'm not. I'm missing out on that. I'm in here talking to you guys, which is fine. But then we'll get it, and it should be ready. We had, and there's probably not any more of it left. We barrel aged some of that stuff already and released it. Very, very limited release, and mostly the only people that got it were the Flying Saucers, and the affiliated bars. We called it Old Major for the Russian Imperial Stout as a play on. Nobody reads anymore, so nobody knows about Animal Farm or anything. But it was a play on that. So I had a little pig on there, and it was a lot of fun.
There needs to be more reading. I think like if 2020's taught us anything, read more.
I've read a lot of books during the pandemic. It's
Yeah.
I haven't learned much. I think I'm getting stupider. Dumber and dumber as the years go by.
Yeah. Well, you just can't. That's the thing. You can't retain as much.
I think I just drink away huge chunks of my memory.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Are we opening up another one? Hold on. What else do we have on the table? So we did the O'Hara's, which is the 4%.
Yeah.
So when we divide that by 2, that's only a 2% beer.
That's like a non-alcoholic beer.
You're
Yeah,
putting way
basically.
too much thought into this.
Well, no, I want to make sure that I feel like. So you grabbed the Samuel Smith's.
Yeah, I've never had it.
Well, and
You're in for a treat. Samuel Smith's great. And you know who else makes an awesome stout? It's hard to find here now, especially. But Belhaven, that makes the Belhaven Scottish Ale, their stout is fantastic.
Belhaven.
I don't think there's such thing as a Scottish stout category, but it is super good.
I picked up these at the Total Wine in the Woodlands, which I don't know who runs that place, but hats off
I
to
do.
them.
I do.
Are they passionate about beer? Because they have great beers.
Yeah, no, Mary Beth is she's the regional, what they call her, the Rock. I'm not real sure. So it stands for something. It's not like her, but she does a hell of a job keeping on. And then the manager does too. That's such a great store. And like, hats off to them. You're completely correct. There's just so much great selection there of everything.
Yeah.
They just pay attention to what they do.
Well, the fact that they have all the non-alcohol, like I went over there, like, I wonder if there's even such thing as a non-alcoholic stout. And sure enough,
there they are.
There they are. Yeah.
So, do you know how they do the non-alcoholic beers now?
No,
because we got into looking at possibly doing it. It used to be that they would make the beers and ferment them and then heat them up and volatilize the alcohol off of them. That's why they tasted like garbage. Because they tasted like a beer that got heated up to 170 degrees and held there for a while.
Right.
Now they are running them through a very low pressure, almost a vacuum, to where alcohol volatilizes they just drop the pressure to where the alcohol volatilizes off at a much, much lower temperature, in fact, close to freezing. And so the beer never gets heated up. And from what I've heard and experienced from those beers, they taste just like the regular beer.
That's... Okay, so that that dodges, like, you could have never done a hoppy, like a bitter beer, because once you heat up a bitter beer the old school way, right, it's going to get astringent, like just it's going to be harsh, super harsh. Yeah. It's like if you've ever tried to cook with an IPA. Right,
it just volatilizes off the rest of those the volatiles, and just all of the compounds that may cause. Yeah, so and that's what you would get for the old beers. They wouldn't smell like much. They'd smell and they'd pick up diacetyl again when they get up, so they'd be kind of buttery, and not diacetyl, especially DMS is what I'm thinking of. So they would be. I mean, and somehow they were still sort of buttery, but they had that cooked corn, cooked vegetable, the dimethyl sulfide. Cooked vegetable aroma and taste. That's why, I think the best one out there was, I don't know, Caliber probably. I don't know who makes that. It was a European one, but like O'Doul's was the most common one. But they still all kind of had that cooked vegetable asparagus kind of gross, flavor to them.
Right.
But now you get crisp, nice hop profile. Then again, I guess they were back in the day. They were also trying to do that to domestic lagers, which don't taste all that great to begin with.
Right.
They don't have that much flavor to begin with. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Just don't have a whole lot of flavor. I mean, I just said one of my favorite top beers was a Coors around a campfire. So,
Gail brought up two things. One, Athletic Brewing. Yeah, they're in Connecticut. I thought they were in California, but yeah, they had. They have like a blonde, and then they have a. I think I had their IPA. The IPA, and then also Brooklyn has an IPA as well. And that one reminds me of like the session IPAs.
Yeah.
Like body wise, I don't know if you lose something body wise. I don't know if that's.
No, I don't know. You wouldn't think so. Maybe it's just the way that the beer is made. Yeah, I mean, just a lower. I imagine if you want to make a lighter beer, there's no point in making a giant alcoholic beer and then taking the alcohol out of it. So you probably have a lighter beer to begin with.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about it. We got pushed to make non-alcoholic beer, and I thought, that for one, that's a silly idea, and for two, I didn't want to do it. So. I don't see that as like, it's funny. It's like the marketing is like, how is that any healthier than drinking, a beer? It's like, I mean, unless you're an alcoholic and you still want beer, which is fine, and that's all good. But, as far as health benefits, you're still getting all the carbs in them. You're still getting all the calories. So, I don't know. I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm just confused.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's probably a reason to do it for some people.
I'm sure.
I mean, if you're okay, so maybe there are some people that are allergic to alcohol, perhaps.
Yeah.
And they just want to feel like whatever, or maybe they do a live streaming show and they want to do more of them per week, and they just need to watch whatever. I don't know. Right, Kennedy? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if we're doing like 2 beers a show, that's not That's not bad.
That's called.
Is that non-alcoholic one that you're drinking right now?
No, this is the Samuel Smith. So our Mercy beer is called Sammy Smith's, which he said. Yeah. Here's a little note about Sammy Smith's. Don't allow cell phones in their pubs, which I guess they can own pubs over there because we can't do that here, right? And then they still deliver beer locally by horse and cart, which is awesome. And
that
then
is awesome.
And the owner sends memos out by fax, which is.
And he'll call you back if you call his beeper.
Yeah.
I mean, is that like modern Amish? What are they doing?
Everyone has their own code.
Yeah.
Modern Amish. That's it. It's like, well, I mean, when you think of the Amish, and God bless them, I suppose everybody loves cart and buggy and their beards and the hats and the raisins of the barns and stuff. But why did they pick that particular time frame to say this is when technology must stop? Because they utilize a lot of technology, right? Like the blades and the what they put on their
come on,
wheels.
They all have cell phones.
They do.
They do.
Well, did you ever see that document? Maybe it was an MTV thing where they get to leave for like a month or so to sow their wild oats to see if they want to stay Amish, and the kids would just go bananas, just drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, I saw that documentary Kingpin where they were doing bong hits. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That wasn't a documentary, was it?
No, maybe.
What? This beer bong hits or other?
Just bong hits. Regular bong hits.
Yeah. This Samuel Smith has a very a fruity kind of.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of getting at with the English stouts. They are sweeter, more full bodied, and sometimes they use those the British ale yeast that have a very fruity
almost
ester profile.
Banana-y kind of like Bananas Foster kind of thing going on.
Man, Samuel Smith's Nut Brown Ale is one of my favorite beers on the planet. It is so good.
Yeah.
Top three? Is that your third? Have you just told us?
No,
all
I just really like that beer a lot. I mean, I was talking, and look, Coors Original is not one of my top three beers. I was talking pints that I've had.
Yeah.
Wow.
In the moment.
And it's probably not top three. It's in the top 10. I mean, I've had a lot of pints, and liters, and and other units of measure.
Yeah.
Technically, the Coors can wasn't a pint; it was 12 ounces.
Yeah. How did we get to 12-ounce cans versus why weren't they? I mean, I get now that everybody does them; they're stackable, but why did it start in 12-ounce cans versus 16-ounce pint cans, which you could just maybe I mean, I get discovering that you can store more on a shelf, spaced at that, but.
I'm pretty sure that was an accident, or maybe not an accident. It was, but they were putting long necks in there because the long necks fit. You just so happened to put two on there. I don't know why the 12-ounce cans. That's nothing about the imperial measurement system makes any sense at all. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those freaks that just begs and prays that the next elected official will that be their first priority is to convert to the metric system. Seriously, ours doesn't make any sense. I mean, how many stone do you weigh? I don't know, but why don't we use that instead of pounds? And don't get me started on that.
Yeah, that's why whenever there's a UFC fight in England and they say the stone, I'm like, please say pounds. But then I'm like, oh wait, I know the weight class, so I should be able to figure this out. But then I forget, and then I don't remember, and so now it's like, the stone to pound conversion.
Yeah, but I mean, if we just did everything in multiples of 10, would make sense. It'd be very easy. Everybody's like, I wouldn't get multiples of 10. It's like, yeah, you would. You'd figure it out pretty quick.
Okay. 14 pounds in a stone is Mercy beer.
Somebody knew.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, he's in
England.
England, so.
Oh, there you see, somebody knew.
Always keep an Englishman close by.
Even the British use the metric system now too. To some extent, they have kilometers an hour. It's,
I don't.
Although they haven't have a metric time unit yet, which would get very confusing. It's still an hour.
Oh yeah, is there a metric time?
I don't think so. That'd make everybody crazy. I think
metric seconds. It takes 100 metric seconds to make a minute.
Yeah, 100 metric minutes to make a metric hour.
Yeah. I wonder if you get paid the same per hour because it's more. Now, okay. Now maybe that's why people just were like, "What if we did?" And then they're like, "Nah, let's just go have a beer."
See, yeah.
Let's just go have
a conversation you have when you're really high.
So let's go have a beer, but we can't have a beer because they're in 12-ounce cans.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. How many
it's 33 centiliters, or thereabout.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring. This what's the like a pint sounds like? That sounds like a beer. Like what are you getting? Like
I go to Germany though. I mean, you get used to liters pretty easy too.
Okay. All right.
You have half liters and liters.
Does that mean like the liter of Buried Hatchet Stout? You can get that at the brewery. Just hand me a.
I mean, we've had some half liter and liter glasses, specialty glasses, and we did not fill them with stout. That's again, bad idea.
Either the best one ever or the worst one. Hey, on the table, I don't know that we're going to get to it today because it is such a doozy, and we're running up against time unless we convert to metric, and then we've got.
So we got
all the time in the world.
Left.
Yeah, but we've got
seconds left.
Like, yeah, my boss is like, you're late to work. I'm like, nah, it's metric. Huh? Trust
It's
me.
metric, man. I'm early by 4 hectominutes. Yeah, decaminutes.
Decaminutes. Wait there just a decaminute, sir. Just, yeah. Hold your 47 stone horses there or something. I don't. We have a ridiculous AF on the table as well, out of Alvin Saloon Door.
Did you just uncork it?
No, he just headbanged his own head. We're not.
Okay, because that was it's like boom.
Yeah, this mic's all over the place. I need room to move.
Mercy Bear says there's the U.S. pint versus the U.K. pint. There's more in the U.K. pint.
There is. It's in 16.9 fluid ounces in an imperial pint.
We may have won that revolution, but we didn't win everything.
Oh, that
No, we totally screwed up on the beer.
that explains those 16.9 ounce bottles.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. But there you go. Ridiculous. That's another. I wanted to make sure we highlighted some Texas variations on stout. 11 Below makes some great ones. Who else makes some great ones around this great state?
Brash.
Huh?
Brash.
Oh, of course, Brash.
11.8%.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. It's
AF.
Let me pose this.
Copperhead right down the street makes some pretty mean one.
Yes. What is that? Medusa.
King of Terrors.
King of Terrors. That's it. Yeah. Let's see. Sputnik from Austin Beer Works is a good one.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Who else? I'm just stouts right off the top of my head there.
You already said Temptress because that one's super good. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that's. I mean, even Buried Hatchet, how well it sells in July. That's what really gets me. Is like we still will sell a fair amount. I mean, we see a little bit of seasonal lift in the wintertime when it gets cold, but the fact that people will still buy a 9.5% stout in the summertime, and a lot of people will buy it is it's crazy to me. I'm really, really happy.
I don't know what it is about that beer, but when you sit outside in the middle of the summer in Houston when it's still 97% humidity at midnight, and you're sitting out there and the air just kind of heavy on top of you, that beer works for whatever reason. It still is great. It's there's like a refreshing kind of like, I don't know what it is, but it works. I don't know. It's mysteries, right? It's the deep, dark mysteries of Buried Hatchet.
It's magic.
It is magic. It's the
sorcery.
Yeah, like magnets. How do they work?
That's also sorcery.
It's all sorcery because it's unexplainable or beyond.
And yeah,
What
supernatural.
else coming out from Southern Star? I think we're about to run up against the.
Yeah, I need to go. I need
hectominutes.
I've had my 2 beers, now I got to go to work.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a lot of things coming out. We're cutting our winter warmer seasonal short this year. We are coming out. We're splitting it this year. So in January and February, we will have Metzli out, which is a pecan stout. It's a pecan praline stout. So we released that only on draft last year. A very limited amount of it here in the tap room. Sent the rest of it to to El Paso for some strange reason. No, not a strange reason at all. There was a reason for that. But then, so we're doing that next year. We've got one more kind of one more one-off rotator coming out at the end of the year called Fracker IPA. It's a New England style IPA made with Sabro and Azacca and Citra hops. It's going to be super good. We've had several test batches in the tap room that is super cool. And like I said, we've got a 6-barrel brew house here now, so we can start making. We bought an extra brew house, so we can start making one-off things that are going to be just tap room exclusives and or very, very limited releases. So the Brewers Playground is now open again. I am very, very stoked to do that. I've never seen 3 people nerd out so much over a glorified homebrew system. Yeah, sitting in the shadow of a $700,000 brew house. We're all looking, going, excellent.
I mean, 6 barrels is quite a homebrew system.
I mean, it is, but it's like, sorry, I'm a little biased.
I think it's awesome.
Glorified.
I just want to come hang out and watch y'all like brew on it one day.
It's pretty cool. It's I bought it from Alan at Brigadoon. He had to close his Pasadena brewery down, so I bought his brew house. I'm really, really excited. That's going to allow us to make Lamort again next year for the Renaissance Festival. Lamort Off Part 2. Yeah. Be a lot of fun. So I love to have fun, specifically with them out there. So we'll probably do something specific for for out there next year. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're ready for life to get back to normal. Like everybody else is, we're ready to have kind of a return to fun here at the brewery and worldwide. So we're just kind of hoping and waiting.
Will it have been worth it if we get to 2021 and it's the most fun year we've ever had in our lives to go through 2020 to get to it?
I mean, I'll take it. I don't know if it'll be worth it or not, but yeah, I guess. But look at what happened after the 1918 and 1919. You had the Roaring 20s. That's true. I'm hoping that we have that effect here, both economically and just psychologically, because God knows everybody needs it.
Yeah, but then you had the Great Depression and World War II.
We'll think about that later. By then I'll be old and I won't worry about it.
But then we had the 80s.
That's true.
Yeah. I'll be way gone by the 80s part too.
Listen, the thing is though, like, who knows what? Like, we're all kind of under the shadow of. We're under like 4 shadows right now, right? We're under pandemic shadow. We're under meteor shadow. Like, there was one that was close, I think. I don't know. And then the election stuff. We don't know. But maybe the best case scenario is like a federal government that's completely locked up for the whole year. Like, that might be where we're at.
That'd be great if they just lock themselves up. Yeah. And then the kids get to play for a while.
Yeah, they can't get anything done, so we just turn off the news and we can just set them over there on the back shelf and be like, you guys hang out for the next 3-4 years. We'll come back and
Would that be nice if we could just have the election, to go to your room election, and we just tell them all to go to their room for 4 years?
Yes, and it might be the best thing ever, and we can just ignore them. It's like, you've taken up too much of our time. We're going to get back to making awesome beers and music and comedy and food and all, and just all the stuff, right? Yep. All the festivals and stuff.
And thanks for the old joke, Jose.
What'd you say?
He said, how old was I when the Great Depression hit? About 18 or 19.
Oh, he was old enough to actually be depressed during the Great Depression.
Yeah. Almost made it a whole joke without a whole show without a Kennedy old joke. Almost.
Never.
I'm usually the butt of those jokes, Kennedy.
Kennedy's so old. He just, anyway.
Hold on, we have...
Huh? What do we have?
We have one more question.
Oh, one more question.
Then we got to go.
Okay.
Dave, do you find... Oh, hold on. Let's cut this question.
I've got it over here. You want me to ask it?
Yeah, ask him.
All right, Mercy Beers from England, from the Queensland. I guess I don't know. Yep. Question for Dave: do you find that? Oh yeah, right. Close enough. Do you find that brown ale and imperial brown ale are the worst selling style? ? They are my favorites, but I seem to be in the minority.
No, I do find that they are the worst selling styles. I mean, among the top. brown ales, I love brown ales. And they just don't sound sexy at all. And they're like, I would put them as like right now as like maybe not tripels, like doubles and quads, as lump them in as the least sexy of the styles right now. I love brown ales, and will probably not make one. I got an opportunity to make a brown ale earlier this year. We did Barley Coherent, which was my brown ale recipe that I used to brew all the time in college or university for our British friends. That's the beer that I would brew, and it was just a nice, easy drinking brown ale. Well, not easy drinking. It was just a nice, flavorful. It was more of a British style brown ale than an American style. Very, very nice little beer, and I finally got to make it. And it sold pretty well, but I guarantee you if I would have released it again, it would have sold it all. I mean, you did these one-offs. It was new. People got it. They liked it, and then they went on.
Yeah.
But, and Imperial Browns, I think, are even more uncool because, for one reason or the other, people are swung way over into the into the hoppy instead of the malty. Now, I think it'll come back.
Yeah.
How could they not? Brown ales are delicious.
Yeah.
They don't have a sexy name. They don't have.
What's not sexy about brown ale?
Yeah, brown ale.
Sounds like khaki pants.
Yeah.
But to me, a pint of brown, like rich looking ale is about the sexiest looking beer you can have. But that's just me. So
you know what it is.
So Mercy, I'm in your minority camp as well.
You know what? The brown ale is the investing every week into your 401k, and you don't appreciate. It's just kind of the thing you do, and you don't appreciate it until it's time to retire. Like, oh, by the way, I've got $2 million here because I just left it alone.
You may not appreciate it, but it will appreciate itself.
It'll take care of you.
It's like the everyman beer. It's like the it's filling. It's nice. You're not going to have 14 of them, but you might. I mean, I'm drinking right. Like 14 Nukis before, but I digress.
Jose has the perfect solution.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be on your screen in a second. We call it Braille.
Braille? Just
not instead of brown ale, it's Braille.
Braille.
Didn't see that one coming.
Bam!
Right,
put that in the show notes.
Finally, you had a good one. Touche. I need to go.
All right.
Yeah.
I got to go to work.
Fine. We'll wrap the show.
Work.
This was so much fun. Dave, we need to do a well, first of all, let me promote Southern Star's podcast, available on Spotify for sure. Where else?
All the things.
All the things. All right,
all the things.
So there you go. So listen, there it's great. You get some insight into the brewery.
Yeah, it's SSPC at ssbc.com, but SSPC at SSBC.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having Alan on next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Fantastic.
And I'd love to have you guys on to talk about some stuff too, just retroactively. I think it's fun when we have the podcast swap.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need to schedule that before the end of the year for sure, because we're already like halfway through November or close to it.
Yeah, take the rest of the day off. You can stay at the house.
All right. Well, I'll catch up with you soon, Dave, and we'll schedule it and figure all that out.
Gentlemen, it was a pleasure talking to you today. I always enjoy it.
Yes,
and
sir.
It gives me an excuse to drink a couple beers at lunchtime. So.
Yeah, it does. If you need one, you got one. So there you go. All right.
Come back anytime, Dave.
Of course.
Thank you.
You do have an open, like we have like a position over here just ready for you. Just
okay.
At a second.
Let's sit over there.
Okay.
Something fun.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening today. Thank you, Kennedy. Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy International Stout Day. I'm going to hit this music. Dave, hopefully this doesn't get too loud for you. But there you go. Get out there and drink the dark stuff.
Real quickly, Mercy Beer said it's his birthday tomorrow.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Hey, Mercy Beer.
Yeah.
Is that your Hector birthday or like the regular, which one is that? I don't know. It's like how many?
Here we go again.
It's even number of whatever. But anyway, all right, everybody, have a great weekend. And thanks for being a part of this. Go buy somebody a beer and make it a stout. Happy International Stout Day, everybody. Bye, Dave.
Cheers, y'all. Bye.
Adios.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.